Who do you want to start with? Metaxas?
Yeah, let's do him. But just at the very end, I got to talk about Roy Moore because we sued him twice. Okay.
Metaxas, by the way, graduate of Yale.
Yep.
Yes, he is. Here he is talking to Doug Mastriano.
People like Josh Shapiro, I will say it, you can't, but he's a villain. He's focusing on things that are monstrous. This is not, we differ. This is evil, ladies and gentlemen, and you have a vote, and if you don't tell everyone you know in the state of Pennsylvania to vote for Doug Mastriano and against Josh Shapiro, you are aiding and abetting a horror story. People are being murdered. If you ever meet someone who has had a loved one murdered, it doesn't get worse when the government cannot protect us from violent crime. That's as basic as it gets. Violent crime. And not only is Josh Shapiro, Doug Mastriano's opponent, not protecting the people of Pennsylvania from violent crime, his policies have aided and abetted it. It's the sort of thing, it's like out of a comic book. This is villainy. This is evil. And the only thing that has to happen is, folks, you need to get into that voting booth and you need to tell everyone you know, because this is literally lives are at stake. If a year from now, a relative of yours is murdered and you didn't vote, you're gonna think, maybe I should have voted.
And that is courtesy of Right Wing Watch, Norman Lear's organization. Yep. Your thoughts? John Hayes in the virtual studio and says, sounds like Feldman. Yeah, it does. So that's something I would say.
Yeah. Mastriano is one of the few people, I think, who literally does not have a chance. He will not become the governor of Pennsylvania. Josh will. But did he ever let Mastriano actually respond, or did you just edit this, or did he? Did he continue? Did he say, "Well,
let me see"?
Yeah, I don't know.
People like Josh Shapiro, I will say it. A relative of yours is murdered. You're going to think, maybe I should have voted.
No.
No, that's it.
That's all we have on the clip.
Well, Mastriano, of course, really wouldn't have anything to say. I think that's a safe governor race. I think it's kind of like Maryland. The governor, the Democrat running there, is almost certain to win and flip that seat back to where it belongs in Democratic Party hands. But, Mastriano, I mean, Every time he speaks, every time he's constantly being reminded of his anti-Semitism, and the fact that he's actually bought time. I don't know that he's buying any more, but from a kind of neo-Nazi who was promoting some of his ads on social media. I mean, Mastriano is literally has nothing to contribute to the body politic. I mean, he has nothing to contribute, like Herschel Walker has nothing to contribute. It's not just, do you want a Democrat or a Republican? Do you want somebody who has a basic understanding of how to make the country a better place? Mastriano has no ideas. What is he going to do? How's he going to stop crime in Pennsylvania? He has no plan. How is Herschel Walker going to make decisions about nuclear policy for the United States? He has nothing to contribute. So it isn't just a difference of opinion. It's some Democrats have opinions, and these Republicans have no opinions. They're against everything, and that's not the basis for a vote in the United States. You have to know what the hell you're talking about. You have to have some plan. You can criticize plans of somebody else, but then come up with a better one. That's what Donald Trump tried to do, claimed to try to do for 4 years. He didn't want Medicare for all. He didn't even want Medicare. He had a plan, and he never, ever came up with one. Those are the kinds of messages that, to go back to a few minutes ago, that maybe Democrats should campaign on. The fact that their opponents have no plans at all. Inflation, yes, it's higher. What's going to happen to make it go down? What is their answer? I've never seen anybody besieged with ads in New England here for New Hampshire's senator, the Massachusetts governor. The Republicans never have anything to say about what it is they will do if the people elect them. And that's the first thing you ought to know. What is someone going to do differently or better if you're running for the United States Senate?
They're running on contempt of government. I try to get inside their shriveled minds, and I think, what do I hate? I hate health insurance companies. And if I wanted to destroy a health insurance company and I had some backing from people, they would say, why don't we make David Feldman the head of Aetna? And I'll present myself, let me run Aetna into the ground, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Right.
And I'd be doing I'd have my dark supporters who nobody knows about, and I'll say, we're going to try to provide, Aetna is going to grow and we're going to provide, but I would secretly be destroying it from within because I hate Aetna. I hate all health insurance companies. I would have moral certitude that this is the right thing to do, to deceive everybody into thinking, no, I really want to, I think I can do some good running Aetna. That's who these people are.
Yep.
They want to destroy government from within. They truly believe government is evil.
That's right. Who was the guy who said, I don't like government. I just want it small enough that I can drown it in the bathtub.
Grover Norquist.
Grover Norquist.
And you know what? You need water. Where are you going to get the water to drown that government, Grover?
Exactly. Yeah.
And he had no problem. He has no problem being a lobbyist and taking money to lobby this government. But
he takes. I think he also took some PPP money. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So, consistency. Remember that guy, Peter King, who was a congressman in upstate New York?
Yeah, from Long Island.
Yeah. And I have a lot of trouble with governments giving money to people to do social programs. And for a while in Baltimore, Maryland, a Nation of Islam was taking over security and being paid by the federal government. And I remember King and I were on one late night show together, and then, of course, George Bush decides to create this thing called the Faith-Based Initiative. And I'm at a party with King, and I go up to him and I say, hey, Congressman, I guess you're going to join with me in saying that's a bad idea, too. And he looked at me and he said, we don't have to be consistent.
Right.
Yep. He didn't.